Oh, and welcome to another episode of Small Talk. Thank you for making us part of your evening or on replays, wherever you might be listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to let us talk about what we love to talk about, those good old 112 figures. Joined today, Badfish and Chris.
Hey.
Guys, how are y'all doing? It's felt like it's been quite a while for me. I don't know why, but it's felt like it's been quite a while.
Yeah, I think it's an illusion, man. There's a lot going on, but it's good to be back and cover some of these wild new announcements. Hasbro's really trying to make me care about Star Wars again, so we'll see how that goes.
The Hasbro is a Disney, but I guess a bit of both, right? Yeah, I think it's time change. All that stuff going on. Weather is weird. I think it's all that. So at least here.
Yeah, I'm at the I'm like right at the start of the tail end of the school year. We're about to go through all our testing here pretty soon in the next week and a half or so. So crazy thing about San Antonio is we find any excuse to have a holiday. So we have Good Friday, the weekend, and Easter Monday off. So great, normal, right? Not too different from most anybody else. But we also have Fiesta. And Fiesta, we have at least 2 other Fridays or Mondays that we'll take off just because of this huge party that happens downtown. It's like a thing. You got the parades, you got the float parades, you got there's all kinds of other pageant style kind of stuff. There's kings and queens and things like that and stuff for the kids. And Nyosa is one of the biggest nights where everybody just goes out to this one little part of Southtown San Antonio, and it's this whole compound of just vendors, food, drinking, alcohol. And it's I've gone once because of my roommate at the time wanted to go and check things out, and God, it was the worst experience I've ever had.
Wow.
It was little did I know, it was the last day. Everyone was there. Couldn't get in a line for a drink. Couldn't get in a line for food. Place was packed. And we were just getting pushed around. It was like a concert,
That's so funny. Sean's like, oh yeah, it's wholesome. It's great for the kids. There's all kinds of stuff to do. What I'm doing for our Lord's weekend is me and some local collectors are driving to the Great Ohio Toy Show. A normal family activity of
we're gonna drive. Easter kicks it off. Next weekend is a 4-day week, is a 3-day weekend, I think.
Yeah.
The week after that, schools take off for this stuff.
For sure.
It's legit.
No, in Canada, all of us who do not have government jobs just have the Friday off, but it's gonna be good. That make sure to get some cool photos. That the Great Ohio Toy Show is one of those huge events where they got 5 buildings and some vendors in barely serviceable structures. It's overkill. Massive show. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds fun. Yeah, well, I was gonna say we'll have to. I still have some footage from the toy show that I went to. It's nothing nearly like that, but we'll do a little toy show segment maybe next time.
Yeah.
Just generally, how'd it work out for you?
Pretty good. I sold 20 plus Black Series.
Very nice.
So.
Very nice.
And I sold 3 Funkos. But I made a good chunk of money overall.
Sign of the times,
Dude.
The Funko wave. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see. I'll see where we can get the if I can offload the whole collection at some point of Funkos, but I don't know if it's gonna happen at this point. But
man, it was hard for me, but I just had to do it. I just had to let it go. 2 of my favorites too. I loved 2 of my favorite characters in any kind of genre of movies is Baymax and Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, right? How to Train Your Dragon, and I had the big deluxe Toothless. I had the deluxe Baymax. I was like, man, when I first got them, never want to get rid of these. It's like Groot for me. Like I'm a huge Groot fan. And I was like, it's not Toothless, it's not Baymax, it's Funko Pops.
I would say
Yeah.
I don't mind keeping, maybe I might keep a Darth Vader and a Boba Fett and a Luke tops, but I've yeah, it's a matter of finding buyers really at this point, at least
Yeah.
that
Well, and
I haven't gone to eBay really yet. So
it was an introduction to collecting for me, you know, like
yeah, it's a lot.
prior to
Yeah.
that, I was just comics. I was like, well, I really don't want to buy the figure yet, or I can't find the figure, but there's a Funko of it, so at least I have some representation.
Big reason they're popular, I think. Yeah, just everyone. It's a way to dip your toe, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, guys. So we have a Toy Mafia. We have Caffeinated Comic Fan here with us today. Good old Vintage Rebellion. We need to get that guy on sometime. Jason Nelson stopping by. I've been having a lot of great conversations with Jason Nelson. He's been helping me.
Our resident sculptor.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
yeah. he I think it was a day prior. He was like, oh, I can't meet on this day, but I can meet you on Sunday because I have to do a thing with Zach and we're doing a statue and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. Are you going on stream? He's like, God, I hope not. but he's been helping me out a lot with those those WWE Elite figures.
Cool.
And I've amassed a pretty decent collection, I would say now. Sith scale collector, good
Shout
old
out all
Lane Kramer
Oxdivers
up there. Good old Lane Kramer's here. Let's see who else.
Wow, at least
Mark-
Lane Kramer has heard of The Last Command. Yeah. Yeah. We'll give him that.
And Sith scale being cheeky here. Where exactly is the Ohio Toy Show?
Yeah. Yeah. It's in Xenia. Yeah.
Shout out
What
to
land is
all the
that?
Ox divers as well, I gotta say. Just
Right.
Sith scale.
Jeez, man, I need to get on that. You know what?
You do.
I'm hoping summer. I want to get into the gaming. I need to get into the gaming. Not just Ox Divers, but like, what else? What else? I need to get the new Spider-Man. I need to get the new WWE game. I mean, there's
The good thing
work
is
to
they all
do.
go on sale, but Helldivers is only $40, so it's much more reasonable. But yeah, some of the guys can only play once a week. But even if you're new to the game, just jump in.
Well,
we'll help
you know what game I really wanted to get into because it was right up my alley. Being a like an Iron Man fan, that game Anthem. You remember Anthem?
Dude, that
God,
could have been so good.
Such
Yeah.
high hopes.
Don't get me started. I'm so glad I didn't
Such
buy
high
it.
hopes. God, I did.
My buddy pre-ordered it, and I just played the demo, and I'm so glad I didn't. buy it.
I jumped into the suit and I'd sit there. I'm like, 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. We could do this. 10 minutes later. Okay, it's going to happen. And then you finally jump in and then boot, you're done. God, man. But we got good old Mark Pearson here hanging out. Guys, thank you for joining us. All right, let's get into new this week. What do we got? Chris?
Yeah. So, I haven't been buying a ton of TVC lately, but we have this like discount store that's like, we don't have like Ross or what's the other crazy one you guys have where it's just Hasbro
Ollie's.
stuff. Yeah, Ollie's, the dump truck just comes up and like unloads Hasbro stuff at Ollie's. Dave Filoni, space helmets, all kinds of nonsense, right? So like we don't have that, but
Thor
we have
hammers, helmets,
yeah, man.
like everything.
Exactly. Well, we have this dollar store chain that randomly got some TVC, which is like, I think it's only 4 figures from a wave. It was like episode 2, Obi-Wan, this Mace, Ahsoka, and weirdly like the Jake Lloyd Anakin, but it's from the very end of the movie where he gets like a different haircut for 2 seconds. For some reason, they made a TVC of that, but there's no like there's not one of his look for like 90% of the movie. But yeah, so I picked up an Ahsoka and Mace just because they were like $5 Canadian, which is free if you factor the conversion, basically. So and it's cool, like they have the face printing, they're not like super old, right? So like this is that updated Ahsoka, which the original was going for like $300 for a while. It's funny to see it at a dollar store. It's something good
Yeah.
about that.
People
But
cringing right now.
yeah, but I mean that one, it had different back on the card, so it still
Man,
goes for good
I
money.
was
But it's
I was there yesterday and I forgot to look.
yeah, well, I mean, I think that Ahsoka's like, if you see any of those, you might as well just take them because, like, even I feel like that's gonna have some value a long time from now. Little
It
known
will.
fact that the notorious GL himself, Mr. Lucas, got on a conference call and specifically directed the appearance of that card back art on that Ahsoka card. Like, he was very involved in that process, so it's a fun piece. And yeah, and like, it's $5. I do think it was like it might have been something that was a QC failure from Hasbro that was like on ice for a long time, because what I did notice about them is that all the bubbles have tape on the sides and the top. So maybe it was like a bad seal that got set aside and they eventually sort of got funneled through the discount channel basically. But they look pretty good. The figures are fine. There's no paint errors. It's just, I think that the bubbles sealed badly, and that was something you'd see. They had a notorious problem with that on the first wave of TVC when they brought it back. So it does happen from time to time, and that's probably what it is. So it might be a one-time thing, but cool to see what is a $25 figure in Canada for $5.
Yeah, I'm
Very
gonna.
nice.
I need to go look for these again. Yeah, is that Dollarama? Or
Yeah,
is it?
and they,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it was, and it's weird. I went to like three, and one only had the little Jake Lloyd, like just a full row of Jake Lloyd. It was
Damn,
weird.
I wish I looked now. I wouldn't mind grabbing each of the ones you grabbed here. These two. Maybe
Yeah,
the
the
Jake
Obi-Wan
too.
didn't look that good, but that's just the way it is. It's not a QC thing in the figure.
It
Cool.
just doesn't.
Exactly.
All right. Awesome, man. Well, I got in a ton and I actually picked up some more stuff today. So I finally got my Poxus wave in. I only ordered three figures out of the wave. Completely spacing on his name, but the big old blue dragon guy, love him. Oh my God. In some of these pictures, you could like really see the scale work and
Say he's big.
oh, he's huge. And he's like squatting down. I have him squatting down. If you have him standing straight up, this guy's taller than the horse. But I got him in, and it was a lot of fun to pose. And you could just see all the coloring on the scales, all the different colors. I even asked Stephen Purchell, I was like, "Hey, man, do you think this could be a figure of the year pick?" Me personally, I really think it could be. Uh, the jaw articulates. You get the typical like four horsemen style stuff, like single jointed elbows and knees, things like that. But you have to kind of be a little wonky on the pose, but it still looks great. And then I believe his name's Phobius, which is the horse of Poxus. This guy just looks awesome. Like the bubbling, in the mouth and the cheeks, and just kind of like the decaying of the skin. You kind of see the bone coming through right there on the top of his nose, or the side of his nose right here. It looks really good. And then Poxus himself, he is awesome. His bow is cool, a little complicated to pose. Like if you get the right camera angle, you can make it look like he's actually like aiming through the bow. But if you go like head on, he kind of you can kind of tell he's not really aiming in the direction you're pointing, but you just got to kind of fudge it around a little bit. But the wings are cool, and then his little, I'm gonna call it a crown, right? Like
Yeah, and then the
it's
leather
really
armor
cool.
as well.
Yep, the leather armor, the soft goods in the neck. There's other soft goods in like his like in his crotch area here, the belt, and all his little compartments, his bags that he has and stuff too.
I just
They're
love the
crazy.
wings, man. The wings
Oh
look so
yeah,
good.
they don't separate. That's probably like, I think that's probably the major complaint. But even if like you just have them,
Oh, the back on.
you have them like wound up. I would say they're like wound up and like they're just up and ready to go. And then you got two versions of his arrow. So you got this like lotus kind of spraying arrow, and then you got a typical regular arrow, but it's the same like translucent yellow goldish color. But he is definitely going to stay with this particular arrow for my collection. Um, and then there they are together, and I think they just look great. I
He
love
just shoots
having
he
huh?
shoots one arrow and it destroys your crops, you know?
Exactly.
All gets eaten. Yeah.
But I think they just look great together. You know, I have Alithia right here with her horse, and just having them standing next to each other like that. I mean, that's the whole idea behind the Four Horsemen stuff, you know? And I think you can obviously, but you can't buy the horseman without the horse. I feel like you're losing, there's a missed opportunity there. Um, and then good old Jason Nelson came through for me. Had this extra Cody Rhodes WWE Elite figure, and then he also hooked me up with this the WWE ring. So I finally had my ring. I was telling you guys I kind of have an idea what I want to do with it, and I started working on it right here. So these are the Elite figures that I have now: Pat McAfee, Roxanne Perez, The Rock from the WrestleMania 40 wave, Cody Rhodes again, and then I have Alpha Academy with the Johnny Knoxville. He was originally he was the only figure I wanted from the Elite line, just to have a Johnny Knoxville figure for one. But I had some things planned with him for Deadpool, but I haven't gotten to that yet. But having some fun with that, and
What is that shirt? Shoosh?
yeah, that's his thing. He goes shoosh, like his intro music.
Okay.
And it hits, and then he comes out and does his thing. He hasn't done it in a while because he's kind
I
of
wasn't
down
sure
on
what it
himself.
said. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he's kind of down on himself right now because he's not in the bid for the Intercontinental Championship. But he's a pretty motivated guy and stuff. So he's a lot of fun. But really quick,
They got
I wanted to-
some.
go ahead.
He's got the big legs there. They didn't cheap out on the leg mold.
No,
Like,
they
they
did
didn't
not.
do like just some random one.
So today, I picked up a John Cena from a local collector.
Is that the
I've done
ultimate
some deals
one
with.
or whatever?
No, this
What
is
are the ultimates?
it's the WrestleMania 40 edition.
So it's cool.
So he looks really
The
good.
shirt fits really great.
Oh, it does. It's just baggy
Yeah.
enough. And then the guy was, I guess he kind of pieced together some things, but he was cool enough for only $5 more, which I paid $30 altogether. He gave me the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Money in the bank. Can you open it?
Yep.
Is there actual money in there?
Haven't decided what I'm putting in it yet, but
Oh, there's no money.
nothing yet. And then he hooked it up with the tag titles for $5 more. Right, so I paid
Nice.
30 altogether. And then also he in the bundle he had the World Heavyweight Championship, the Triple H version, I guess I would call it, or like the Undertaker version. And then he was cool enough to add the Universal Championship, or one half of it, I guess. I guess it's really more the WWE Championship, but
Nice.
so he included
cool.
those. And then also, you know, I was kind of collecting those starting lineup figures. One figure I did not have was the Steph Curry. So all I want to get is LeBron, just because these are probably the top two of those lines. So I got him for $10, which at Ollie's they were like $7 and change. And you know, after tax and stuff, $10 is it's not a bad price at all for it. But
10 is fine, yeah.
but
It's not 50.
yeah, I'm working on a huge pre-order of Elite figures on Ringside Collectibles. So
Yeah, well, hey man, great job on those shots. Like, it's not a small feat getting that many figures posed and standing up together. So it was sort of fun watching those come in as you were working on it last night. That was pretty cool.
yeah, well, and you know the idea is like I want Bloodline in one corner, I want Alpha Academy in one corner, Judgment Day in another, and then have like Rey Mysterio doing 619 on the ropes, you know, and then having wrestlers
Nice.
who actually stand on the corners of the rings in those spots. So where McAfee is right now, right here, uh, Randy Orton's going to replace him. And then
Randy Orton.
Yep. And then in the far corner over here by Cody Rhodes, I want to get an LA Knight, and that's coming out here pretty soon. And then in the center, I'm gonna have Cody Rhodes doing the Crossroads finisher move right in the center on somebody. I haven't decided who, but it's a work in progress. But it is moving very fast, so
Nice.
I'm happy about it. But let's see, Badfish. What is this? Oh my god!
Yeah. First, gotta switch over here.
Hey,
Oh, that's
Wow.
not the right layout. There we go.
About time.
Yeah, first pickup I've had that's like smaller scale in a while. But I've been holding off on getting any of these because I just wouldn't know where to put them. I got the TIE Fighter on sale, I think for $14.
This is the Micro Galaxy Squadron Razor Crest for you audio listeners.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and then
It's-
I just got the Razor Crest for 19, yeah, at Walmart. So they have these little like areas where they'll put clearance stuff, so I'll sometimes walk by them and I'll see them. And then this was the only one there, so I just figured I may not have the best place to put it right now, but it's pretty cool. So
It's really not that big once you get it out of the box if you plan on opening it, but that's cool. This is like you have the launch edition sticker on there, so this
Yeah.
is probably like 2 or 3 years old. I don't even know when this line started.
yeah, this is at a Walmart I don't normally go to as well, so I just happened to be there, so I checked it out.
nice.
But
Yeah, I don't see this anymore, so that's cool. I still see the Falcon all over the place, but a lot less of this.
I want that jumbo pack with the TIE interceptors.
I think I did see the Falcon on sale, but I'm not sure now. But it was still kind of pricey, so I held off. But I may eventually grab that as well if I see a decent price.
Have either of you found the N1 yet? I've
No,
been
I
looking.
haven't seen
Haven't
it.
seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen that. And also, I mean, some photos of a new Ghost from Rebels showed up recently. That looks
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah,
That
looked
kind of
really
looks cool, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I would probably grab the Ghost again, sort of thing, if it went on sale. Falcon, I need to check the local GameStop because they kind of get them, but they don't get tons of them. But the other
Yeah,
Walmart and further
the-
from me,
The
that's
GameStops around
plenty.
me, they sort of stopped getting the new ones. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to clear back stock, or maybe
Not
GameStop's
selling, yeah.
in trouble. Who knows, man?
Who knows?
And so this is all you really picked up though this week, Badfish?
Small scale wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah,
Technically, I got a small car thing, but I can put that for the next show.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that thing has a really nice paint job. You know, like it's not like chrome or anything, but the sort of metallic finish is pretty nice for what you're paying there on sale. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's pretty nicely weathered and stuff. So yeah, I love these small vehicles. That's why I've been holding off on these micro galaxy squadrons but there's a lot of cool ones, and maybe eventually if I see some, I might, once I figure out my display, I'd like to make a shelf of vehicles, maybe a floating
Yeah.
shelf or two of them,
Yeah.
and then something like that. Cause yeah,
You know, one thing that I've always loved about Star Wars was the vehicles and the ships and stuff like that. And I just remember as a kid drawing out TIE fighters and drawing out X-wings and doing the battle of the Death Star and stuff like
geez,
that.
yeah,
and
I
having-
used to do that. all the time.
God, and I was like, man, it would be so cool to do that. And now it's like actually possible. You know, just get up there and put some fishing line up, and you
Yeah,
have some decent sized figures.
and their smaller scale vehicles are really pretty reasonably priced. You know, if there's like 5 bigger ones, and this almost falls into that category. Most of them are like around $20 or less.
Some of them now, like the Luke's X-wing, though, like you're depending where you get it, you can pay more than retail now for some of them. But I think I might just need to look around.
Very nice. All right, guys. We got hyperspace highlights coming up. We got holothon leaks coming out. we got some hot or not. Again, thank you for making us part of your day and joining us on this episode of Small Talk. We do have a show topic. Um, Kind of stolen a little bit. I'd love to know your guys' opinion, but what is your next big purchase? Let's keep it 1/12 scale. I know. Well, no, let's not keep it 1/12 scale. Like, just I want to know, like, where's your collection going? What's your next big purchase?
Wow. All right. Well, I'll just go first because I was doing some photography for my buddy who has a Star Wars collectible store. Go figure. I know somebody who has a Star Wars collectible store, right? Weird. But I never really, I haven't gone too deep into like hot toys and statues and all that stuff. But man, I was taking some shots of this really old Gentle Giant. Like it must be like it's not 1/6, it's smaller than that. Maybe like 1/8 or 1/10. Like Jabba, like diorama statue, and it was crazy. It may be like Gentle Giant from like 10 years ago, but like just like like Jabba's like giant bed and with the gargoyles and stuff on it, like even in like 1/10 or 1/8, it's like a a massive brick. Like it's just like I don't know where I would display that, but like I think some of the stuff Gentle Giant put out back in the day, especially like there's like a series called Legends in 3D that are like 1/3 busts. Like some of that old Star Wars stuff before the dark times, that is maybe where I'm gonna go back to like larger scale stuff that's like long out of retail, like that sort of interests me, going back and finding good examples of that sort of stuff. I don't know about a specific piece, but I think that is like the direction I'm going in. Like some I have some of the old like premium format Star Wars stuff that's like just Legends characters, like non-canon stuff that is not likely to be produced again. And I think that's a fun rabbit hole to go down. And that does tie in a little bit to some of the new Star Wars stuff we're going to be talking about later. But yeah, old canceled statues and stuff, even if it's not a massive scale, like diorama type stuff.
Very nice, very nice. What about you, Badfish? What do you got?
I would say I was trying to think of like another small scale thing as well, because I guess the next big purchase I want to get the Dewback, this Hot Toys one
Hmm.
with the Sand
Oh wow.
Trooper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I mean that's
so
beautiful. Yeah.
so I'm probably gonna do that. And then because that I mean it was kind of between that or the Batmobile, the '89 Batmobile, because they're pretty much the same price.
Wow.
Um, but you get a figure in the Dewback versus just the Batmobile, for kind of a similar price point. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes down to it, if I'm thinking about I want the '89 Batman, I don't necessarily need the Batmobile to be happy with that display, and I don't need the Dewback either. But I think it's a very iconic piece of Star Wars when it comes to Sand Trooper, and like it's one of the first times you see stormtroopers. That's not true. Sorry, you see them on the. It's the first time you see them like on planet and stuff doing stuff, which
Yeah.
is cool. First sand troopers, but either way, it's a cool creature from Star Wars that we all know and love. So
Isn't it
that's on the
weird?
list, I think.
Like, isn't it weird? Why the heck do we like the Dewback, right? Like, it's barely in the movie. It's like for some reason it's so iconic, but like it's really like it's iconic just because of like A New Hope, I guess. But it's like it's a cool design, but it's really not
Yeah,
central
yeah.
to anything that happens. And until special edition, you barely see it anyway. But it's so majestic, though. What can you do? But it's
Uh,
funny when it's just funny to hear it put on a
yeah.
pedestal like beside the '89 Batmobile, because it's like, don't get me wrong, like I would never buy an expensive 1/6 '89 Batmobile, but it's clearly more iconic than the Dewback. Yet for some reason, we're drawn back to that stuff. It's weird. It's interesting. I don't
I
know.
think part of it for me is I had like that Power of the Force Dewback toy that came with the Sand Trooper that had this purposely spread legs, I think, for it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been a while, but I still have it. But that I kind of loved that. Like that's one of those things, you know. And they had
Articulated
the
jaw.
Black Series. Did you have the Black Series? One of those?
No, I had that 90s one you're talking about though, for sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
I kind of want to still get the Black Series version of that eventually, but just kind of a cool thing. But
Right.
yeah, so that's probably. And then as for like smaller scale stuff, I mean, the Ghost is. I got
Yeah.
the Ghost.
You got to figure out how to display that, because like we're gonna all be very disappointed in you if you don't have an awesome display for the Ghost. You know, like that's.
I'm thinking about revamping
You
my
gotta
whole
start preparing
room
for that
right
thing,
now.
man.
Dude, I need to prepare for a lot of this shit. But I'm still selling stuff off,
But you
obviously.
can't
as
just
know.
keep the Ghost in the box. You
Oh,
know,
no,
like,
I
some of
mean,
your other stuff
I
you
know.
can keep there. You got to make room for that guy.
But I'm like trying to I'm thinking of selling my Detolfs and redoing my whole thing,
Whole
like getting
setup.
just garage shelves and redoing everything. But it's making the room for it first right now, so I'm doing that. But yeah, Dewback is definitely on there, and yeah, as for smaller scale, I feel like there was something else that I was thinking of. That's
What's up, Danny?
Hey.
I might think of something after that comes to mind.
So for me, you know, I've talked about it for years. It was the Thanos on throne. It's here. It's mine forever.
What's it like
What, man? It's surreal. Like I still have
to
it.
achieve
It's like,
that goal?
it's like
Yeah.
right there,
Right.
right there.
Weird.
God, you know, and who was it? Sam Giss. I'm taking it to heart, Sam. I will find a pedestal for him. He will stay right there for now, but he will have a pedestal, and it will just be him. I
Makes me
promise.
nervous if you have pets and kids, like to have
Oh, I do.
Thanos
Oh
on a
my
pedestal.
god! Let me tell you real quick before I tell you what my thing is. So, in the hot, in like the summertime, springtime, where it starts warming up, I will keep the air on up here because I do have some very, very vintage comics. And right here on the wall, like I got some, like just right here, like 70s, 60s. I mean, you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
So
I worry about that too. Yeah.
I do try to keep it somewhat cool up here. Well, I also have to fight with the pressure of this room and the release of the air through the vents, and then it pushes the French doors open, right? And now I'm like, oh no, our dog is chewing like crazy. The boys leave something on the floor, it's done. Like my son, like we do this thing called Kids Heart Challenge for the school. It's through the American Heart Association. They get these keychains. Well, my son won. He raised the most, and he got this really big keychain of one of their heart heroes. We go, okay, well, we're going out to dinner. We're gonna go go have fun. Come home, motherfucker's chewed up. Oh my god! And I was like, this kid's about to flip. And I think if it wasn't for him just being dead tired, he would have freaked out. But my point being is, the dog has already snuck up here once. We know this because in the game room or the playroom just outside the door, she used the restroom, right? She pooped there and we cleaned it up, no big deal. Thank God the doors were closed. Because some of my most expensive stuff, even like right here, there's a nebula right there from in-game.
It's the wrong shelf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, everything
Yeah,
on
you
this,
need
like,
to think of like another way to. So the doors get pushed open because of the air.
Yeah, because it pops open. Like
Yeah,
right now,
Going-
it's decently cool here, so I don't have to have it too low. But
They go
I'm
into
fighting
the room
with like
though,
90-degree heat up here, right? So I have
Dude,
to like
that
it's
pedestal
bad.
is like year 5 from now, when the
Yeah,
dog
yeah, when the
starts getting
dog's older.
lazy. Yeah.
Do the doors open into the room? I assume, right?
They open outwards.
Okay, that's actually a good thing. So you just need some door stoppers at the bottom.
Well,
buy
and you
two-
know,
two
my
door
boys, they
stoppers.
have some of those kind of like big rolling like cars type things up here, and I'll just put those up against the door. So that's what I had to get back to that point. But
Yeah.
for my next big purchase, I definitely think it's going to be a couple WWE belts. I think that's what it is because there's nothing else I want. There is like the Iron Spider, the comic Iron Spider from Sideshow. That was very, very tempting. I did purposefully decide to pass on that. And of course, the XM is just kind of way out of reach for me right now, much like this one was, right? But I think I really want the new World Heavyweight Championship belt, which is the one that Seth Rollins currently holds. And I'm patiently waiting on WrestleMania in 2 weeks to truly decide if I want the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship, because there are rumors that if Cody Rhodes wins, he might bring back the Winged Eagle belt, but just like a modern version of it. And I'm like, well, I would much rather have the Cody Rhodes version of that than the Roman Reigns version of that. But I think regardless, one of my favorite belts has always been the big belt, the world belt. So it's
definitely go for that first. 'Cause
Yeah,
then you can wait for the other one, see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't see any wrestler here now trying to change that one. But there's
Even
the
if
whole
they do, it's like
storyline.
it's the one you kind of that's been around for a while, right?
Oh yeah, since this time last year, I think
Oh,
they
really?
introduced it. It was like this
I
time
thought it was
last
the
year they
older,
introduced
an
it.
older one, like the Triple H style.
It's only been like a year in the making.
Oh,
Like
okay,
we
no,
all
no.
knew there was rumors of it happening, and then they dropped it. Like, here's the belt, and then they did the tournament, and the tournament was at WrestleMania? I think it was at WrestleMania. But yeah, I definitely want that World Heavyweight belt, and then I'll wait to see what happens with the other one to see if I go with the golden one. But let's see. Danny Lee says, I always wanted the OG WCW heavyweight belt. That one is legit. And then Equan says, Winged Eagle, iconic Attitude Era. You know, they're saying there's a modern version of the Attitude Era coming back now, because all the banter is like on point, and it's like they definitely got some things to say right now.
Yeah, man, I saw some modern wrestling clips that were like the behavior felt like the 90s. I was like, wow,
Mhm.
the world is healing.
They're killing it, man. Like, they have sold out every main show, SmackDown, Raw, for the last like 4 or 5 weeks. Like, they're over a month of selling these guys out, which is
Nice.
great. You know, Danny says, I remember Cody brought back the classic IC belt with the white stamp. Or it's white strap. I'm sorry, white strap. I don't remember that one actually, but let's go
I'm
ahead.
thinking of the big
go ahead.
gold belt. Sorry, that's no longer in. The big gold one.
This one,
It's
like
called
the one that
the one that you showed earlier. Yeah, that's no longer. They don't use
This
that
is the
anymore.
one back like with Triple H.
Yeah,
he
like
had,
that's been
and
retired, right?
The new one is very, very similar, but it has like a big WW in the middle, and
Yeah, it pays homage to it.
it's
It looks like they're saying here.
and it's like a combination of several other world heavyweight belts that have happened in the past. Like, you get Vince McMahon's Lions logo, and you have like all the other the major heavyweight championships and their crests and things like that within that one, which is really cool and iconic.
That's interesting.
All right, guys. All right, Badfish. We got some hyperspace highlights. Star Wars coming out swinging with some of this stuff.
Oh my, there's a lot of stuff came. They had like this Imperial March event, and so basically lots of Star Wars just with all the new. There's a new show being teased and whatnot again, and for the Acolyte, but and just new Black Series, all kinds of stuff. So. And some classics, because we'll start right away with some TVC vintage collection. Actually, Princess Leia. She's Danny. They need to unify the WWE title and the world title.
That's what they're trying to get out of, though. Like, they already unified them at one point, and then Roman Reigns gets it, and they didn't have the other one. That's why he calls it the consolation prize. And then Equan, WrestleMania is 10 minutes away, a 10-minute drive away. I should probably go.
Yes.
Definitely try, man. Hey, I haven't been to a wrestling event in a long time, but they're always fun.
Oh, I plan on
Any
having
live sports or live event is fun.
it's always fun. I plan on having a whole weekend of it next weekend. We're
Nice.
cooking. We're doing something both nights. I told
Very
I
nice.
sorry for this last tangent. I'm
It's
sorry,
okay.
but I told Christina, I go, if the boys have games, tournaments, whatever, tell the coach we're not going. Like I've been waiting for this weekend for like the last 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's definitely one of those all other plans are off. All right, yeah, so we're going into Star Wars. Yeah, so this one actually I kind of like the hood that they've got going on. It's sculpted, but they actually did half a decent job with it.
Yeah.
This is the TVC Princess Leia Organa. It's 16.99 as usual. Uh, but yeah, you can kind of see there in the packaging, the little hooded accessory. But I took this back shot. Like the buns look good. I got like chose this the back shot there because you can really see the hood. But again, like I really like the way the buns turned out. The sculpt's a little on the right there. I feel is a little off, but
Is
I mean,
that a second so does that hood, the back hood there, does that stay on even if you have the top piece clicked on, or is that like a separate, it doesn't show it as a separate piece, so I guess that just stays on.
yeah, it
Um
seems to. But yeah, I don't know. This side profile looks so good to me. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's the
really
thing, right?
cool.
Like certain poses that you can get away with those big sleeves, but like when in
Yeah.
the last shot when she has her hands like above her head, the sleeves really look kind of strange that way. But oh, like in the right pose, this looks really good. And when it comes to sculpting loose fabric, you sort of have to pick what your most neutral pose is, and that stuff looks pretty good. But when you
Yeah,
veer too far off that look, it starts getting a bit wild. But this is a good improvement, man. They've tried a lot of times to do this original version of Leia, and this is probably the best attempt so far, which is good.
it looks good. Yeah. And then R2D2 coming in again.
Yeah, that's a reissue
I was gonna
from
say
like
it
maybe
looks
a
like a
couple years
reissue,
ago.
but
Yeah.
I was gonna ask maybe they rescaled them or something again, but that was a Black Series thing, I think.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think for these, if it's the same number, and I think this guy was like around 100, me if I'm not wrong. So this came out. I think they put this out in like 2019 or something. So I think if it's a fully new figure, they do update the number, and that's not the case here.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, and this is 17 as well, 16.99. And I believe those are both already available for pre-order. I have to
Yeah.
double
Did
check
either
that.
of these have release dates?
Let me pull that up again. But I thought I had
Yeah,
that.
but it's cool because these are both from the first 12 original figures and featuring the card back art that they originally did in 1978. So, there was this push from the TVC fan community called Finish the 96, which is like the original 96 Kenner figures. And I think they're very close now. Like they're just missing like a handful of really obscure ones, like the Emperor's like assistant and like
Oh, I
maybe
see. Okay.
Bosk. Yeah, they're very close. They're like
Huh.
I think they're right around 90 out of 96.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's that yeah, that I don't yeah, Bosk I don't think I remember seeing. So, yeah, sorry, this is summer 24. These are coming this summer this year. But you can pre-order these now on Amazon, all the normal places. And then next one's kind of interesting, the Clone Trooper Battle Droid pack. They're changing packaging again,
Ugh.
sort of ish. I don't know. It's like a
Is this like their builder box or something?
these would definitely be an army builder, I would say.
For
These are 40
$40.
bucks, so 20 a piece.
Dang.
Meanwhile, I think all the others are normally pre-ordering at
It's the
$30.
same box.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
But
look, it does
Look
look
at
kind of
that.
puffy on the sides there.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that. So it's weird. They're doing a lot of different stuff with boxes, but the figures themselves are cool. These are going to be popular. You can remove the helmet from the clone, uh, phase 2
Yeah.
clone trooper, and the regular battle droid.
It
And he
looks like
wraps
almost
up
no
into the.
weathering. But that's
I
that's
don't
not a
think so.
bad
Yeah.
thing. That's not a bad thing if you're like, it doesn't take much to do a black wash, and at least that way they don't have the same like
Hmm.
burn marks in the exact same spot if you buy like 4 of these. But I feel like when they're going so minimalist on the paint apps, especially on that battle droid, like it might just be the eyes. Like I think
Yeah.
they could probably go a little cheaper on these, in my opinion. But and that's a weird still where
Yeah.
he's sitting on the droid.
That's why I
Like,
put it.
okay.
But look at the articulation there.
I was
Like,
gonna.
come on,
That's
just
part
a
of the reason I
fact.
put it. It's weird, and the articulation is actually pretty good.
Like that is like uncanny.
Yeah, and the fact he's like flat on the ground with the neck and stuff, so
Now can
pretty
he
good.
scrunch up into his normal like?
Yeah, he can do his
like,
ball pose. Yeah,
yeah.
look little folded up, and yeah. So that, let me see. Those are also up for pre-order, but on Hasbro Pulse
Also,
right now, and eventually
yeah.
on Disney Store, I believe.
What's funny about this is like, I don't know, in the movies, the Phase 2 never fights the tan battle droid, but small nitpick.
No, yeah,
Sorry, guys.
that
Nice
one I
try.
thought was a little interesting.
Yeah.
Some
Maybe
teabag
in the-
action. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, that's teabagging's over, bro. You can't do that in Halo anymore. They'll put you in Xbox jail. Can't do that anymore.
Xbox jail.
Yeah. But they could have done the dark red battle droid, but I feel like this is a little more iconic. Maybe in Clone Wars they fought the tan ones, but not
They
in the
need to do
movies.
like they need to do like a reel or like a TikTok of like people who were put in Facebook jail, Xbox jail, and
Yeah.
just like have certain characters like Halo characters, Spartans and stuff like that, and be like,
Yeah.
what was the reason you got sent here?
committing assault in Halo, basically. That's what. Yeah.
Real quick as well, $25 is the normal Black Series price. So these are cheaper.
Okay.
20 a
But
pop.
there's no paint on them, basically. But sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just to give you an idea.
Yeah. It's fun if you build armies, but Black Series, who's doing that these days? I don't know.
Some are, yeah, still, but some do still army build. At toy shows, I was there. That's where I sold most of my stuff, was people army building.
Nice.
But yeah. So this is the Star Wars Last Command. They've got this is a 4-pack as well. This is going to be coming in at $99. Hasbro Pulse exclusive, at least currently, I believe, and eventually coming to Disney Store and Disney Parks at a later date. It's already up for PO, and it's the Black Series though, so it's a 6-inch 4-pack with was it Mara Jade?
Yep. Luke and Luke
and
yeah.
Luke and
Joris Saboth, who is
Jorah, that's it.
Yeah, so this is interesting, right? Like I don't know if you guys this is from a real old Timothy Zahn book. It's like the ending of the original Thrawn trilogy. Like this scene specifically is the ending of the original Thrawn trilogy. And Joris here, the old Gandalf looking guy, is basically it's sort of loosely ties into what they're doing on the Bad Batch right now, actually. Like, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the Bad Batch, but there's a location in the season 3 called Mount Tantus where they're working on cloning the Emperor. They're like doing clone experiments there. And in the Thrawn trilogy, this old guy is a clone made of a Jedi who died like way back in the day. So like they found some DNA of this Jedi and they grow him on in this lab on Mount Tantus. And also the clone of Luke here with 2 U's is made from, they somehow recovered Luke's severed hand from Bespin and use that. And Joris sort of mind controls some of the lab technicians to grow Luke out of his hand. So like it's a evil clone Luke and an evil clone Jedi who are grown on Mount Tantus.
That's what I wish they would do with like Harry Potter. Like I want to see them go down into the cavern where the Elder Wand was broken and thrown by Harry, and have some like dark wizard like mend it back together and be like, here we go again.
Yeah. So
that's
but
the story.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the deal with Joris is like it's just like in the Bad Batch now, only it's a little more interesting. But it was always a difficult problem cloning Force users for the Empire. They're always trying to perfect it. That's why Palpatine always came out weird. And Joris was one of their early attempts at cloning a Jedi, and it really backfired because if I remember the book correctly, he pretty much like started mind controlling everyone and took over the whole lab eventually. So like, it just got out of hand real quick. And, so basically real Luke and Mara Jade go to sort of confront Joris and the clone Luke, and we this is I think this is pretty much the same Mara Jade that we got in one of those comic boxes a couple years ago. There might be an alternate head that didn't come with that one. Yeah, I think there's like a goggles head. So yeah, you can see in the box there's a second head for Mara Jade.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of saying, when you make a clone in Star Wars Legends, they come out a little power hungry, they get crazy. I like this clone Luke though. He's got a crazy face. Like we have it in
Yeah.
our thumbnail this month, and he just looks nuts. And the blue cloak is like, I don't know, that looks novel to me. I don't think we ever had a nice blue soft goods cloak in Black Series before. It looks different and interesting. And but yeah, I don't know. I wish the Mara Jade look is really not what you think of it's really more comic accurate. I don't know. I think I would have been nice to have a little bit different Mara Jade, but let's be honest, you're not getting a Last Command box set without a lot of part reuse.
Yeah, yeah. I would say as well, this is definitely one to possibly even just keep in the box, but they'd be cool because just these display nicely. But it's going to be a pretty big box at the with 4 6-inch figures. So, but these are at 100 a pop is back at the 25 a piece. At 100 for the set, but so basically, cloning Jedi is like making inbred children. Got it.
Yeah. Well, it's the old not so subtle message that it's Frankenstein's Jurassic Park. When you play God, shit hits the fan. That's pretty much the moral of many stories,
Yeah, these look cool, but yeah, I was don't know. I've never finished Heir to the Empire, so
Yeah, this is the third book at the end, basically. So, spoiler alert. Yeah.
that's fine.
It's
Yeah,
not a
those
spoiler
are
if it's been around that long.
also just quick side note: the clone and the battle droid trooper were actually available on BBTS and Entertainment Earth, but for 45. Just FYI, so they're not just at Hasbro Pulse. Next we've got should be more vintage. Yeah, so TVC Dark Trooper for 17 fall 2024, and the last set sorry, the next one, HK 4087, is also 17 and fall 2024.
Wow. So they're doing this thing where it's literally like variable pricing for the basic figures now. That's interesting. Maybe I missed that if that's been going on, but I guess these are a little bit more new. But a lot of people were annoyed that the Dark Trooper was only in like a deluxe box when it first came out. But you guys should have all seen this coming and held off if you just wanted the core figure.
Yeah, because this is just the regular 16.99.
Okay.
Like any other
okay, so that's
TVC,
okay.
yeah.
Good stuff. So it's just the basic price there. Yeah, I mean they were selling it with like a charging station. Like he had like where they dock on Moff Gideon's ship. I think there was two ways to get this already, but they weren't like a basic carded figure like this.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're in different packs and stuff. And then the Ahsoka version of HK87 is fall 2024.
Yeah, and there's a different version of that already out that has like a red face, so it's like a paint variant, I think.
Yeah, I was literally gonna ask that, but there you go. So couldn't remember because there's so many of these. The Mara Jaden one, I was just trying to see. That's August this year, so summer this year. And then we've got more Sith. I guess so. This might be sort of what we might see in the Hot Toys. They're teasing this whole new Sith line in Hot Toys, kind of with this sort of red and black color scheme, I feel like. So maybe this would be some of the ones that we see first from it. But I mean, they just did a Thrawn. They're always doing a freaking Darth Vader. But Grievous would be... Hot Toys hasn't done a Grievous. But as for the Black Series one, this one here, is Masters of Evil set for $79.99. So it's $80. But it's an Amazon exclusive. And they each come individually carded. These are Black Series 6-inch scale as well. But changing up the packaging again for another set. Like I just feel like we saw a lot of packaging reveals.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, there's something
Yeah.
weird I have to point out here too. I don't know if you don't have close-ups on these
Go to
guys,
the
do
next.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. So like this Thrawn is the Ahsoka, what's the name of the actor? I forget. This Ahsoka
It's
Thrawn,
the
right?
Ahsoka throne though. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got this little squirrel on his shoulders, which is what in Legends what you call the Salamiri, I think, and it's like a little creature that in the old Timothy Zahn books Thrawn would keep around because
Is it
it
Islamiri or whatever?
yeah, it neutralized the ability to use the Force around him. But in Rebels and Ahsoka, he never had one of these. There's like a statue of it in his quarters in Rebels, but you never actually see a live one. And I think it was Filoni or somebody said that's too narratively problematic. I don't want that creature in here. And this one is a reuse. This piece already came with Luke from one of those comic boxes like a couple years ago, so they didn't make it new for this. But it's just cool because the original Kenner Thrawn from like 1997 did have one of those on his shoulders. So like your old 3 3/4 Thrawn did come with a force neutralizing squirrel scarf, and it's cool to see the Ahsoka version with that. But if I had this, I would be popping it on that Rebels version that does not look like the actor, because that's a little more accurate.
He doesn't have the in Rebels either, right? This
Yeah,
one you're
but
talking about.
yeah, but this
right?
is more of like, but that's more of a like, yeah, that's still technically
This is
Rebels,
more.
but it's live action. It's meant to like artistically not look like a cartoon, so that's a little
Yeah.
more like the Legends Thrawn, in my opinion. Now, I would probably
more
pop
like
that
the book,
accessory on
yeah.
him. Yeah, exactly.
In
So
Rebels,
Danny
they
asks-
had a reason, I think, that he didn't have it.
Danny asks, is Vader too short?
I don't know. It could be the angle here, but I would say he's also got his legs a little bent.
Yeah,
I
these
would
are
say,
definitely bent.
but Grievous is pretty tall, so I would say it's probably accurate. I'm sure somebody would complain if it wasn't though. So they generally get those right now.
And it's weird that they went with the like 2002 cartoon Grievous colors as well. Like this is a real mixed bag, because this is like the Grievous that
interesting.
Yeah, he came on that Clone Wars retro style card back instead of doing the episode 3 version. I don't really understand that move. I think the episode 3 version looks way better.
I think the reason is they've recently reissued that, like about a year and a half, 2 years ago. They redid that deluxe figure, and then it's just another reason for them to do this, and for people who couldn't get it to buy this, because that was popular. People wanted that version of Grievous, and now they have to spend $80 if they want to get it again.
I see.
So
well motivated.
The packaging is also a reason to get it for the other one though, the original version. This I had to put on just because it's news for it. Not just because this is just Star Wars Holocom. I thought this would be Dead in Water, but they're continuing the Holocom collection with Darth Vader, and then also for $27.99, and then Maul is $29.99. Both fall this year. Vader's an Amazon exclusive though. Maul is a wide release, I believe. But again, these are kind of interesting with the little hollow pucks, but I don't see myself ever buying these.
Would you rather have Maul the way that they have it here? Because I remember seeing Maul when he came in the Holocom. He had like the hood on, and when he's talking to the Emperor and stuff in episode 1.
That's the problem,
he's a
right?
Bounty with the new legs, right? He's a bounty again.
Oh, and who exactly put a bounty on Vader and thought that was a good idea, But yeah, but this is the problem, Sean, because you can't, like, if you go back to Vader, like that's a soft goods cape. It's not actually clear plastic, right? It's just like it's like they're the Force ghosts, right? Like
they think that was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a blue soft goods cape because these aren't plastic parts, so it just looks a bit weird. This photo looks kind of good.
Even
but
then,
like,
don't you get Vader as Anakin?
Well, there was that one part in Empire Strikes Back where Vader hologram telephones General Veers while he's driving the AT-AT, and this real crappy hologram of Vader. If you watch the movie, like it's like a standard def hologram of Vader comes up on the AT-AT's like control console, like it's real blurry, and it doesn't look that good. But but this shot is a great example of why I think this is a bad idea in general, because look what happens as soon as the leg joint occurs, like the light just stops at the end of the boot there. You know what I mean? Like look how much brighter the bottom part of the leg is than anything else there. You know what I mean? The light just can't pass through these figures.
I think they do this though. It's just they know someone's gonna buy it. They
Hmm.
don't have to even paint it. They know someone is gonna collect this line. I
I
think.
was talking to one of the guys at the shop I used to work at, the Heroes of Fantasies, and they're like, we were kind of talking on this topic, and they were saying like people kind of complain about, well, we don't get new this, we don't get new that, and he was trying to say like what some people don't understand is that you have to buy this, you need to buy that to fund some of the new stuff that they have coming out. What's
It's,
y'all's take on that?
it's just like anything. It's like Spider-Man. They have to put a Spider-Man in any Spider-Man wave to sell the wave. You know what I mean? Or like it's why do they keep making Batman? Like
Hmm.
McFarlane makes 40 Batman a year now with like or more. Why do they do it? Because Batman sells. It doesn't even if it's like and same with Vader here. We saw a TVC version of him last show.
Hmm.
Those characters are constantly created
Oh
because
yeah.
just people buy them even if they have 10 of them, they buy more of them.
Never mind the one in that 3-pack we literally saw in the last slide. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably the
Yep.
same mold. Yeah.
exactly. So and for Hasbro, someone is going to be like, "Oh, cool, now I have like a hologram Vader that was on the AT-AT that I
They're gonna
can
notice
set
that
up."
little nuance and just be like, "Hey, that's a cool little nod."
And yeah, and probably Clone Wars Maul here was probably at some point in a hologram, and they're like, "Oh, now I can set up that scene where Maul was in a hologram."
And
So
y'all were saying that this is more of like, is it Rebels?
this should be Clone Wars because he's basically see his legs are mechanical; they're not
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
spider legs at this point. That's early Clone Wars.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wish they would do the man. I would love to in Black Series or TVC. I would love to get the I want no other figure from Solo other than crusty old Ray Park Darth Maul from like the last scene. What I mean? Right before he got like temporarily canceled. Ray Park like in his one Darth Maul reappearance. That was I think if we probably would have got that by now
Oh
if he had
man,
behaved himself on social media.
that was that was one of two disasters that we had at the old shop. Is Ray Park, and he had the same rule that the late great Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, had. Every fan gets seen. Does not matter if it's closing time. It doesn't matter what it is. Every fan gets seen, and we had him at our shop. I come to work the next day. We didn't leave till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I believe that. Yeah.
You know, and then Ray Park too. He had a day at our shop, and then Traders Village, which is like a flea market, like a commercialized flea market that we have here in San Antonio and Texas area. He stayed there until like 10 or 11, which is crazy past their time. They're like the big
Yeah,
boss is like, we got to get you out of
yeah,
here. Like our guys got to go home.
As
right.
much as that sucks for the staff, I will hand it to those very few celebrities will give their time
Yep.
like that. And he's not super famous, but he's famous enough he
But he
doesn't
puts
have
on
to
a
Yeah,
do
great
this.
show. I mean,
Yeah, you know
he
what I mean?
sat there,
So,
talked with every single person, every person who wanted him to do a lightsaber flip or just a kick flip or whatever,
yeah.
like his twirl that he did it for every single
yeah.
person.
That's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, he had like he's so like sort of like blessed as far as like convention going actors
Mhm.
go. Like think how many days do you think he even filmed on episode 1? Like a couple weeks? Like how many scenes is he in, right? And it's like such an iconic character. Like we literally were just looking at a brand new figure from it, right? Like how
Just to
many Darth
die.
Maul figures have come out, right? And it's like and he's the only one who's played the character in live action and with for a grand total of probably 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just crazy. Like the demand is there, and he's probably loving the fact that episode 1's back in theaters for a week next month. Like I'm going for sure. I don't
Oh
know. It's gonna
man,
be good.
this is good
I'm just
stuff. I
trying to
love
see
this.
Dune, so I wish I
I'm
could. I
just
don't know
trying to
if I'll
see
make that
Dune.
happen. I'm trying to see Dune Part 2.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah.
So when is this show coming out? Acolyte.
Yeah,
Soon.
I'm gonna
Summer?
plead the fifth on that. Yeah, I
Is
don't
it
know.
June something? Let's find that out very quickly here. But these are some of the new Acolyte figures being teased out. This is coming June 4th. Yeah, so June 4th. So it's coming quickly. These are available
Old packaging style?
fall. That's what we're going to get into. So this is actually new packaging. I wish I got a picture. I should have put a picture with all of
The
them lined up.
style's old though, right? Like
Yeah, it doesn't have
Yeah,
the angled side by
no
the looks of
angled
it.
side, but there is an art deco on the side. So two things actually. So
okay.
go back to the first picture. So first, this guy is the guy from Squid Game, which is cool. But Jedi Master Saul, and two things you're gonna notice here. I believe that tab at the top is cardboard, not plastic. Um, these are
Ah,
square boxes with the old black and red,
uh-huh.
but they still make a mural or collage on the side. So on the right side there is a collage, and you'll
That's
notice they've started the numbering over. This is number
yeah,
2.
number 2.
They haven't showed who number 1 is, but I've tried to put.
Well,
I think these are all in
but
order:
is
2, 3, 4,
but it
5, 6.
but that numbering is the current way they do the numbering, it's just for that movie or show, right? So
They
is
don't
that
even have a numbering anymore right now.
okay?
It's
All
just
right,
the
so
mural box, whatever color of murals for that show. Yeah.
okay. So I mean, I kind of get this because like I mean, I'm sure it's bothering the people who've been completists on the art boxes up to this point since the last changeover, but it does force you to keep your shelves out of all the boxes at a 45-degree angle if you want the art like facing forward. So I think this is smart in that sense. But it's probably, the people who are completists are probably getting annoyed with packaging changes. It looks
Yeah,
like the old stuff. Yeah.
it's very much like the original packaging. That's why you thought it was. It's so close. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. But this
Hey.
is Padawan Jackie Lon. Very cool design.
Yeah, he
So
looks really cool.
I think it might be a she, but either way,
She.
she.
You're
They
canceled, Sean.
look great.
Yeah, you've been canceled. These are also 25 fall, but this is a cool looking character. Um, next one, yeah, this is yeah. Next one is Jedi Knight Yord Fandar, I believe that's this should be him. Yeah, that's right. And he's some of the posing on these are cool. Um I tried to
Yeah,
get
no, dude,
some
I'm
of
sorry. I failed you. I'm sorry.
the pictures with good posing, especially the next one you'll see here. It's I think this is the girl who played Trinity. Is that
Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss. Yeah.
so?
She was in the trailer.
Look at this Matrix pose here. Look at this.
Yeah.
And
So
they had
they knew
another
what they were
one.
doing.
Yeah, and they had another one where she was like really go back one. Sorry, did I put that one in? I sort of did. There's one where she's even further like crouched down to the ground, like kind of on the left. But these look kind of cool. There's not a whole lot of paint apps and stuff, but the actual sculpts on the face look good and the outfits look good. And I mean, most of the Jedi's kind of look like that. So
Yeah. The only thing that's kind of like a little bit annoying about this is like, and I think they announced a bunch of for TVC as well, right? Like this,
yeah,
if not,
there's
yeah,
2 I think we've seen.
right. And it's just like, it's like we don't know anything about these characters, and they have a wave of like 6 coming out. Like, the Ahsoka show, the Kenobi show did not get that sort of treatment. You know what I mean? It's interesting. And those are
It
like
is,
known
yeah.
characters, it's just, it's cool that they're doing this. I hope the show is good.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, and this last one here, sorry, is number 6, May, the assassin. She comes with like some knives, a little hood thing. I don't know if I got a good picture with her. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, I did. So she's got like a mask over her face you can put up. The soft
Yeah.
goods don't look terrible here.
Right.
They're pretty good.
A little
But
bit of texture on there.
yeah, her outfit's probably the most interesting. Obviously, with the other Jedi, it's just, but cool. It's the show could be interesting. What it's 100 years in the. Everyone's begging,
Before
let's
episode
get
1.
away
Yeah.
from Skywalker saga. Let's get
Yeah.
away from these characters. So something new in the Star Wars universe.
It's the attempt.
Yeah. It is so strange now that you pointed out that Ahsoka didn't really get a figures. I want to say
They got some, but this is like we're announcing 6 before the show even comes out. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that. They're probably there now, but it's been done for like a year, right?
Maybe
I
it's
mean,
with
I'm
the whole
interested.
launch of the
I'm interested
figures too.
to watch the show, but it also has a Eternals kind of feel.
Well, the
You know?
nice thing about it is
Yeah.
that it requires the least context of probably any Star Wars show ever. Like as a new
Yeah.
viewer, it's probably the most approachable thing they've put out yet. You know?
And yeah, that's true. And sorry, that is a plastic tab at the top. I was wrong about that. For that. I thought I saw a cardboard version. But yeah, and then next, we have this was kind of interesting. The Moff Gideon. Uh, this is the geez, what's the word? They call it the role play helmet.
Yeah.
But it actually lights up, which is a new. They've done very few light ups. I had to show this though. It looks kind of chunkier here. I don't know, something. It looks kind of different for some reason. If you go one more over too, there, like, see how
Maybe
it's
the
almost very like it goes out more. I feel like versus the render we saw. If you go back,
mhm.
the render I feel like doesn't go out that far. Maybe it's just the angle we were looking at.
Well,
It,
and
but
this red that they have is like a burnt red, I guess, and then here it looks very almost pinkish.
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good
just
point. Yeah,
lighting.
I didn't see that.
I think this just has a lot more frontal lighting because they have two hosts sitting there, and it's
Well, and
not
you can
very
see the light. Look at the light
yeah,
right
ring
there.
light right on there. You know, it's not very technically lit here, and the render is like, ooh, how let's do some moody backlight and like you know, make sure the LEDs look great. Like it's you know, this is a little more embellished. But you know, that's one of those weird things with Star Wars helmets, right? It's like going back to the Stormtrooper, it's like you're supposed to think this is real intimidating armor and stuff, right? Exactly. But you know, at the end of the day, like the texture looks like plastic, and this guy's supposed to be a super soldier, and it looks like a plastic helmet. And we just give the Stormtrooper helmet a pass, but it's funny and weird, you know?
It reminds me of South Park, that one episode with the they were being what, World of Warcraft or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
what are y'all playing? We're playing Harry Potter.
Yeah, and also like keep in mind that, you know, this is one of the dumbest parts of the dumbest season of The Mandalorian. So good luck with your
Well, but
space
if you
helmet.
even look on this, technically it's the right side, but on the left of the picture here, you kind of see like some plasticky,
Like they scratched it up already or
scratched
something.
it,
I
or
was
Yeah.
gonna say it's all
like
yeah.
it looks like, look at there, like just on the cheek.
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
know,
You got to handle this stuff carefully for it to not get all smudgy and scratched up, right? It's just
and you
plastic at the end of the day.
and this could just be like the soft plastic that they put on for the visor, but
Yeah.
scratches
It,
there. I
it
can
doesn't
see
look great here. Yeah,
does not look good at all.
that's it's yeah, it is very harsh lighting though, so you probably wouldn't
Yeah.
see all that. But $99 and it's January of 2025. But this is an
Wow.
easy pass for me. So, but
Is that cheaper than usual for those?
I feel like it might be. I
It might
think
be right on par ish.
I want to say some of the more recent ones have been more
100 to
expensive
120.
because
Oh,
they had
yeah.
like the what the heck are the
The
ones?
Rex, right? The Rex is the most recent one that came
Yeah,
out.
they have a bit more paint apps, and like
Mhm.
they had a Sabine one that had more. It's kind of got more paint apps, so I think that might be 120 or 110.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
I don't know, man.
Stormtrooper they reissued is 99.
Yeah,
I know
that's
that.
good stuff. I'm looking at my Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett right now, and like it's I don't know, man. The matte finish. I mean, I guess they're matching the prop, but the matte finish really makes it look not like plastic. You don't get those like specular highlights and those bright glares and reflections, you know.
I
But
have a clone shiny helmet up there, and
yeah,
it looks. I don't know. I love
yeah,
it.
that's supposed to. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, but
But
you have a good. There is a good point about that. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, it's cool light up feature though. It's the coolest looking light up feature. Hopefully, it actually looks half decent. I didn't watch the video from this. I should go back and watch it. I don't think they lit it up because any of the pictures I saw didn't have it lit up. But sorry. So this is
right.
just a very quick update on Jabba the Hutt's action playset packaging for TVC, which
Right.
comes with 8D8 and Salacious B Crumb carded, and they showed the cards for those as well on the next slide. So this is just a bit of updating on these. I wanted to quickly hit those. The
Yeah.
crumb is hilarious how small it is.
Well, I think and there's a little bit of an update with that. I think they were gonna give them the same number as like an SDCC exclusive version that came out
Ooh,
years
that's
ago.
not good.
But yeah, people got, the outrage was strong. So I think they changed the number, and rightfully so, because it is a totally different figure mold as I understand it. So it shouldn't have really had the same number in the first place.
I actually they did, one of the screenshots did show the back with the number, but I just didn't include it because
Yeah.
of
Well,
the number
yeah.
of slides we have.
And I mean, I got one of those ordered because I got the Fat Bib Fortuna throne room from last year, and yeah, that's what
I
that
have one
job was
ordered
for.
too. Yeah. So, and it's I think it's 99 US. I think.
Yeah, which is crazy for what you're getting, but that's the times we live in.
It's a much better price than some of the other stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's some cool pipeline reveals as well. I am seeing Deidre Miro, the Imperial Armored Commando. These are all Black Series, sorry. The Ahsoka Tano. So there you go, the Peridia version. Some more Ahsoka. Captain Enoch and Night Trooper 2-pack, which is cool. That I think is a Walmart exclusive. And Yoda and Clone Commander Gree, which is, there's already a Clone Commander Gree, but it looks like this is going to be possibly a Clone Wars style or animated style Yoda.
Yeah, that original version of Gree, maybe it was a Toys R Us exclusive, but at the time they were really hyping it up because it was the most paint apps that were ever done on a Black
I
Series
remember
figure.
that.
Yeah, so I bet you this is going to be lower paint apps than that one with the camo print.
It looks, this looks like it's going to be a comic, or if it was in the movie, Clone Wars movie style, just green stripe for Gree. And then these are vintage collection pipeline reveals, which Grand Admiral Thrawn I thought we already saw, but Jetpack Trooper.
They did put out a Thrawn, but it's not that based on that actor. It was like a more generic one, like Rebels live action interpretation. Rebels Thrawn with a picture of cartoon Rebels Thrawn TVC came out a few months ago.
And so that's not the one they tease with the ghost. I must be thinking of that then. Or mixing.
Yeah.
Lego
it might be that one.
Said, what do y'all think about the Acolyte trailer?
Oh, I wish it had a better, more narrative focus for one, and wasn't like just dancing around cool visuals and red lightsabers getting hucked through the woods. Like, I want more story. I'm not sure if I buy into the core narrative yet. I wish it would have given us a little bit more, but it doesn't look bad so far. We'll see.
Yeah, for a teaser, it has me excited. So I had no hype at all for the show, because I mean, Star Wars, Disney is kind of, you take what you get, but I don't know. I didn't hate Ahsoka. I kind of liked it. Obi-Wan was definitely had some good moments, but generally it wasn't that great. And then there's the Book of Boba, which was probably their lowest point, I think.
Dude, I saw
beyond sequel trilogies. Sorry,
they announced the physical media for Kenobi, and I'm pretty sure at least one of the pictures I saw, it says the complete series. Hallelujah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So honestly, I don't.
No season 2. Thank God.
I don't know.
As a recreational Star Wars fan, at first I was like, "What is this? And where is somebody recognizable?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, come on, like we need something, right? Something like what you were kind of saying earlier, Chris, like just a restart, right? And bring in some new people. I think it's a cool expansion off the story going backwards, because that was always like the big deal, right? Like even like early on when like episode 1 first came out, like it was like, well, we're learning about Obi-Wan, Padawan, and we're learning about Qui-Gon, like, but how, like when, before that, and we had all these books, these like chapter books that came out and stuff. I had them. I had the chapter books. I ended up donating them when I was in college to a children's shelter and stuff. So they got to hopefully enjoy that and make some Star Wars fans out of that. But I know you guys being diehard Star Wars fans, I don't necessarily share the same opinion as you guys do with certain Mandalorian things, certain Obi-Wan things. I was like, oh, you know what? That's really cool, for someone to get into, So like, if you're ready to jump in, just do it, I think. right? And then once you get to y'all's level, do the critiquing, do the okay, I see what you're saying now, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what like breeds it, right? That's what breeds the
Yeah.
the collectors, and that's what breeds the new moviegoers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm that's what I mean, I don't know. That's what excites me about episode 1 being back in theaters, because it's 25 years old, and like a lot of people have never there if you're in your early 20s or like your late teens, like you never had like a general like sci-fi fantasy movie that good come out your entire life. So I'm hoping episode 1 finds a new audience. I really do, because it's like it's way better than anything Disney Plus put out. Dang it. Watch episode 1 in theaters. Bring someone who's never seen a Star Wars before. That's what I'm going to do.
By the way, I quickly checked that Salacious Crumb is number 66A.
They put a letter on
So
it.
they put a letter on
Wow.
it, yeah. Over the original one, which was Vintage Collection number 66.
Yeah,
That's,
they're probably
that's
doing that.
interesting.
I think they're doing that because a lot of people are crazy about completing the numerical run, and that
Yeah, yeah,
old San Diego set is like $1,000.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry. So the pipeline, the Acolyte stuff. Really quickly, it's kind of like Marvel. I was gonna say it's kind of like Marvel Disney with the shows. Some are good, most are kind of not good right now. It's kind of like that. You kind of hope for the best with the new show coming out.
The Blurg and Mandalorian, that's exciting. There's not been like a good
Yeah. So
creature
let's get
mount.
back into figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pipeline, the Blurg and Mando, that's cool. The little Blurg running around, that could be a fun thing to have. Moff Gideon Imperial Light Cruiser hallway playset. They've got to be taking from the hallway playsets they've done before. They must kind of wanting to do that. They're probably
Yeah.
kind of easy to make, but
Even though they already released like a big box set that has like 3 figures from that hallway battle, there was like a Moff Gideon Dark
Yeah.
Trooper set, which like I guess those hallways you only get 1 figure, so it won't be totally redundant to that. But hopefully
Yeah,
they
you
give a
only get the one,
Dark
yeah.
Trooper or something. Yeah.
that would be my guess, because you got with the hallway for the TNT 4, you got a Rebel Commander, a Rebel Trooper, so you could kind of troop build with the other one. So clearly they're linking into that release that they already had, which is cool. And then 4-pack of X-wing pilots, which if they do it where one's not very very distinct, these would be a cool army builder for people who want some X-wing guys. And honestly, it might be a cool thing for me eventually to grab, but we'll see. These are some cool pipelines though on TVC.
This. I mean, it's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out. Like, I think it's a good job.
There's a lot of Star Wars.
I kind of keep going back to some of their original comments. What was it? Maybe summer, fall of last year, where they're like, "Okay, we are not going to do any more of the pre-order stuff. We're just going to ship to stores." That lasted for like what, 3 months?
I don't even if that. Yeah, although I don't know what they were thinking. Especially in today's market, you can't just hunt at a
Everyone's a
store anymore.
scalper. You
Yeah.
you pre-order online and all that good stuff. But in the words of Chris, take someone who's never seen Star Wars Episode 1 to the theaters.
Yeah, exactly.
How
And
does Zach say it? No words more. I don't know. Hashtag not Oxfather.
Listen, there's a episode 1 clip in the opening of the main show still there to this day. Like, it's part of our culture, man. You gotta vibe with episode 1. It's great. It's a good movie.
Crazy how pop culture has become the culture.
See, you can spend the time you saved toy hunting and go watch that movie now.
You know you're not going to find anything, so just go see the movie.
No, but now I was saying you can pre-order, like we were saying, because who has
All
time
right,
to check the store every 2 days?
Let's fly through some of this HasLab stuff. So we got some new pictures of the Ghost, studio pictures. Really, I mean,
these would be quick.
If you've seen some of the other pictures that came along with this, like it's like they have a whole setup and like a whole canopy really over it just to give it the lighting. This thing is humongous.
Yeah, I didn't include any of the like behind the scenes, but if you want to see behind the scenes of this, it is out there of these like shots. We just got 4 pictures I think here, but looking pretty cool.
I do
The
my best, Dean.
the
Do my
ladder
best.
is like weirdly 3D printed looking though. If you see like on the left there, on the one bar. But anyways,
Yeah, you can see the scaling on the bars there. Is
yeah,
this supposed to be like the prototype still? I guess
that's
they
my
didn't.
question.
Yeah,
I think it is, but it looks tight in there. I'll say that. Like Zeb's barely fitting in there. Look at that uh, on the right.
yeah,
But the these are cool pictures though. So um, it's coming along, or they're making more of them. So I mean,
This looks awesome.
yeah, that's the coolest shot I think. So
I'm
I'm
glad I'm not getting it, but this looks really, really cool. Like you would spend some time in a collection room just staring at this for a while.
yeah, it's and there's yeah, here's I was say here's Chopper and Sabine. Not sure where they were in that other shot, but yeah, the whole crew there. But it's looking good.
yeah. I think they're not in the other shot because they don't come with it, right?
That would be fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
these are just the
yeah,
additional ones. But yeah,
yeah.
so definitely looking forward to this one. So
All right, Badfish, run us through some of this holothon stuff.
so this is these are already hitting shelves. So this a lot of this was leaks. Some of it's not anymore, I don't think. So they were kind of they haven't this isn't shown up on Toy Arc yet, so I don't think it's actually fully been revealed. But here's some you can see those 4-pack of turtles if you go back, sorry. These are the Toon turtles all being reissued on individual packs. Um and that guy there just didn't get all 4. He missed one, it looks like. But in the next picture, some better close-ups of some of the other stuff. There's 4-pack of the turtles in the puffer jackets. And we'll get another close-up of those. So they're punk disguise, which these things always come with so many cool accessories. And they generally hold their value really well, as well. Turtle stuff in general. So there's just some kind of farther out shots, but on the right there, they're so blurry. I tried to get some ones in the earlier shots of those same figures closer up. So these are like the comic ones on the far right. If you go back a slide or two, sorry. That's another 2. We'll go back to that. But you can see he's got 5 of those comic ones. There's like a Baxter Stockman and stuff like that before in the comic style, which is like the Eastman and Laird comic. But sorry, go back one more. And then this 2-pack is just kind of cool. Bizasu Casey and a foot soldier. These 2-packs again, just tons of cool accessories, and they hold their value really well generally. And these they've gone really deep in the Toon line, so they're kind of scraping the bottle, doing barrel, but still cool stuff. Cool accessories if you want to add them to your existing turtles. And if you don't have the original ones, you can get those individual boxed ones. Yeah, Yojimbo as well.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So
Good old turtle stuff.
check your, I think it's Walmart's or Target's. I don't know, to be honest. Need to check.
All right, guys. We are going to run through the hot or not. Just give me your hot or not and a quick little blurb of what you think. But we got the Ghost Rider 112 Collective Marvel's Ghost Rider and Hell Cycle Vengeance Edition. This is a BBTS exclusive. It's going to be $250 due out May of this year. There was some questioning about what this really was, and it looks like it's just more of a recoloring of the original 112th comic inspired piece that they had previously. But I mean, it's Ghost Rider. It has to be hot. You can't do too much to it. I mean, it's comic, it's the red bike and everything. 250 is a kind of a hefty price tag for me, but I still think it's hot. What do you guys think?
All right. I mean, the paint job is not doing it for me. I got to look what the original looks like. 250 seems high for this goofy paint job, in my opinion. I don't care if it's comic accurate. It looks weird to me. It looks like too expensive. The skull is like basic painting with the flames around it. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Not hot for me.
This is. I feel like if it's this simple of a paint job, the price should be lower. The bike just, if it's comic accurate, cool. But yeah, it feels very. I think they're going because it's exclusive. They're just BBTS exclusive. Maybe they're pushing it. I don't know. The
This is
bike
gonna
looks terrible.
this
to
is
me.
going to include 8 interchangeable hands, the base. You got some flame effects for the wheels, and then you got 2 versions of his Hellfire chains, one with the flames, one without, and then you got some flamethrower pieces. A little odd how the guns here are blacked out, but hopefully those are included. Next we got the 1/12 Popeye. This is going to be $95 due out in November of this year. It looks like this is going to be a reissue of the original release from 2018, but at the very least, you are going to get it at the original price. I think this is cool, and I was always a Popeyes fan when I was younger, but little too realistic for me, I think. Little too stylized for me. I'm gonna go not, and I think even on the original one, I would say a not as well.
Yeah, I'm not too, just because like it's, man, if there's demand, it's cool they're reissuing it, but like I don't like the cartoon proportions with like real looking skin texture. This, I find this very unsettling. Not.
It's so freaking disturbing. Like it's like one of those things you find in like some horror like shop where it's got like some like doll with some weird wash on it and it's like really old. Look at that
Yeah, because
hand. Look at that meaty hand. Ugh, I don't like it.
exactly. The
I
skin
don't
looks
like
too
it.
good. What's going on?
It's too, yeah, it's
Well,
too realistic. Yeah, so
and
that's a not. The
the
knuckle.
whole idea
Ugh.
was like Popeye was a tough guy, right? But at the same time, he loved Olive, so he had this soft side to him. This guy doesn't look like he has anything soft a part of him. Oh my god, this looks disturbing.
And the next one, it's like he's, I don't know, taking a dump or
I don't
something. I don't
remember
know
the
what's
villain.
going
There's
on.
2 different versions of this picture, but I can't remember the villain's name. But that big beefy guy
Yeah.
that would always come and fuck with him, right? Uh, he's staring at that guy. That's why he's looking up,
Oh,
winding up
sorry.
here.
Very quickly, after we're done this, the holathon is April 12th at Target and April 7th at some Target, so you can buy online and go in store. Sorry.
Thank you for that. You're gonna get a couple head sculpts. You're gonna get 3 different hats. Looks like 7 hands, and then his jacket with 6 different pipes. Some with the smoke, the spinach bottle, a crushed spinach. I'm sorry, spinach can, crushed spinach can, his compass, and a spyglass, and of course the base and a Popeyes
Why so many
duffel
pipes?
bag.
Well,
They look
he's
the same.
grandfathered in. Yeah, the 3 on the bottom, it's like they do look the same. I don't understand that, but he's allowed to have a pipe because he's like from the 30s. So he's, the rules don't apply to him.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, good point.
Okay, and then moving on, we have the Mofex number 239 Spider-Man 2099 comic version. This is going to be $109. This is going to come out in February of 2025. I think this looks okay. If they're going to call it, I'm sorry, give me one second. If they're going to call it the comic version, I don't remember the comic version being this dark blue, but I think the coolest thing about him is, 1, the articulation, but 2, he comes with several different kinds of caped web, whatever you want to call them. I'm honestly not going hot. I'm not even going not. I'm more like lukewarm. I'm like, how many more of these can we do? It's like, are we gonna wait for every company to put out a 2099? We wait for Hasbro to do it, and I think Mezco did it, and Mafex, and I think there's a couple others out there who've done it already too. And then, of course, the animated versions that have come out also. But I'm like lukewarm. I'm not really ready for this.
Yeah, I'm saying not. This is a little bit too generic for this price point for me. I feel like you're not gonna, if you did find yourself a Hasbro equivalent, you're not
You'd be
gonna
more than
feel.
happy.
Yeah, it's like a third the price, and like it's gonna have a very similar paint job, slightly worse articulation,
Almost
perhaps.
like you're paying for the name.
Yeah, I cannot endorse this.
What was the price on this one again?
109. And to be honest, I actually think it's
109.
110. So,
Pretty much the same, but yeah. I don't know. I like this darker blue, but that's just I guess my bias. I'm only gonna say hot. Just I know we were talking about the price of the Ghost Rider, but it was so outrageous. So I try not to factor price in too much to these too often, just because I try to just judge the figure, and that Ghost Rider just wasn't good. But this one is cooler to me. It is definitely a little pricey, but the cape thing, the way this webs look, the translucence paint and stuff, and I do like that deeper dark blue. And Spider-Man 2099 is, I don't know, he always looks really cool to me, so maybe I'm a little biased. So I'm going hot.
awesome. Okay, and then another Mofex, number 237, The Deep from the Boys. This is $109.99, also due out in February. Um, my original thought about this guy was like, this is Aquaman's Robin. And
Well,
I don't
well,
like this at all. But to be fair, I have not watched The Boys.
uh, Sean, Aquaman's Robin is just original Aquaman before Jason Momoa. Yeah, yeah. That's all that is. Yeah.
True. A couple of very quick comments. Shout out to Darth Tamaris for tuning in, and
Mhm.
Equan, every year my wallet takes a beating from Holophon. I
Yeah.
love it. And Jason talking about the agreeing with us on the Ghost Rider. Very cool. Sorry, yeah, this guy I'm going not go back a slot. Oh, the hair is
Oh,
cool on the chest.
yeah. The printed chest hair. That's fun.
Yeah, that's actually cool. But go
It
back
actually
one.
looks textured a little bit.
Yeah. But this reminds me of the Shang-Chi, go back one. The Shang-Chi Hot Toys. Those like there's a lot going on the chest there. He's got a lot like Shang-Chi had basically had breasts, and that's basically what this looks like. So, um as for the likeness and the suit and whatnot, it's pretty close. This character sucks in the show, but for a figure, I'm teetering. I'm like very close. I wish there was a hot maybe. I wish we had a middle almost. I'm going hot, just barely there because the suit kind of looks cool, texturing. They did good with the paint job.
Warm.
Yeah, I'm warm. Yeah, I'm
I'm
lukewarm.
warm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna agree just because I think these photos turned out well, and this is like the costume designer and the boys nailed that like that Snyder like DC costume look. Like that's it's that's just that is Aquaman's costume. It's pretty good.
So he's gonna come with 3 different head sculpts, and then he has his we're just gonna call it his soda can, and a buzzer is what I would call it for his hair. It looks like, but next we have another boys Mofex number 238, Soldier Boy, $109.99, due out in February of next year. Um, Major Captain America vibes with a mix of Captain Marvel here. That's what I get. But honestly, I think the suit looks cool. I do not like the helmet at all. I would much prefer him without the helmet.
It
And
looked
then
goofy in the show too.
I like the damaged cape along with it. He's gonna come with a mic, a knife, a flask, and his helmet without the head sculpt. Um, so yeah,
Sculpt on the left is pretty good
warm,
too.
warm maybe for $100, over $100. I don't know.
Uh, I like this one more. I'm going hot because and look at the little chip on the like the armor and stuff. Like there's little paint chip,
Hmm.
the weathering. I don't know. This is a cool. He's kind of a fun character in the show. I don't remember him being like that turquoise blue, but I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, the helmet doesn't look good in the show either. But he doesn't wear it a whole lot. So the sculpt is pretty good. So I'm going hot for this one. And the shield's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta base these boys' characters just on the designs, and this one does not excite me the way the last one did. So I'm going not on this one. It just seems a bit generic to me, and I'm not crazy about the color.
We do have one more hot or not that I accidentally missed. I'm sorry, guys. It is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla -1 color version from SH Figure Arts, a premium Bandai web exclusive in Japan. 14,850 yen, or about $100, $98 USD. Pre-orders for this are opened on the 22nd of March for a September release date.
I guess you meant minus color, right? Because I don't see any
Minus
color.
color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Minus color.
Right. You know, I like they've done other black and white Godzillas in the past. I'm not feeling it. It's a great design. I love the movie. I would absolutely get the color version of this figure, so that's a nod for me.
I have to echo what Chris said for that one. Yeah, the articulation and stuff is really cool, but yeah, if you're gonna pick between, I'd just go for the colored one personally.
All right, guys.
That Soldier Boy, by the way, was really accurate color wise, and even that armor chip was in the show. That paint missing from his. So wow, that's impressive.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
All right.
here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I haven't seen the boys. I know it's heresy, so I just got to judge the
Oh yeah,
costume. Yeah.
You should definitely check it out. It's good. Definitely worth watching.
So I've heard. It's getting on in years now, man. I don't know. I've heard less good things about that spin-off series, but what can
I
you
don't
do?
think I'm gonna watch it after hearing
Yeah.
that. I maybe eventually, but I wouldn't worry. Just watch the boys and don't worry about the V one.
Equan says, grab this one, or color one's going to be double.
There you go. So that's stuff we don't know. So thank you, Equan. Yeah. So our Godzilla fans out there, if you probably know that, but don't listen to us.
The
Nope.
scalpers cleaned out the color version already is basically what it sounds like.
The
Yeah.
toy version.
Dude, those freaking things go crazy. The Godzilla monsters, it's crazy some of the prices, I feel like. Not crazy, but I'm shocked how high they are sometimes. And then the secondary as well on them. But they are really detailed, but yeah, so some of the prices on them, I'm shocked by them.
You know, one last thing I want to talk about before we get to the good old Patreon read. Guys, I forgot to mention this earlier. I sent it in our chat, right, with Zach and Dean, but I had that guy reach out to me for that Thanos statue. He was like,
I
I'll
told
pay you
someone
50.
about this.
And I question marked it, and I go 50. He goes, yeah, this is just a toy. If it doesn't do what an iPhone whatever does, then it is not worth $600. I will give you $50. And I was like,
It's
yeah,
an action
man.
figure, he said.
Yeah, it was an action figure. And I go, oh yeah, man, this is a statue. So, but thanks for the offer, but no, right? And he comes back. He goes, I'll give you 60 then. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Add an extra 0. So
I know, right? Add an extra. That's exactly what I thought. Add an extra 0. I still haven't blocked the guy. I was waiting to see if he'd come
man,
up with no offer. Just mess with him.
It probably worked for him once, and now he just can't get it out of his head. You know.
Yep.
that's crazy.
Us entitled
It's probably Zach's alt
collectors. All right. Here, can you drop off at my house?
Dude, it would have just said, "Can I have it?" Yeah.
Can I have it? Yeah.
That's true. He would have said that first. Yeah, I don't know. That's just insulting. Something's listed for several $100 and you offer 50. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you know you're just trying to troll.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is the show today. We would love to shout out all of our amazing Patreonies, starting with Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Vallon, Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Gun Figs, Bad Fish, Toy Cartel, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krent, Big Fern, Cecil Madokin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bamowski, Rick DiGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Alzucena, Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Takathri, Wah, Derek B, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Arlies Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D Rock, Matt Clavenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Matan, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Luis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. And for your March, April benefits, you got the Ox Diver sticker and the Junk Drawer sticker.
Shout out again, all the Ox Divers.
Yeah, Ox Divers. And if you want to become part of the Empire, you can start with the hot seat at $5, where you'll get all the digital benefits, such as Ox After Dark, the Patreon chat, and weekly shoutouts. For $7.50, you get the stickers sent straight to your door, as well as Ox After Dark replays. Stickers will be sent every other month. And then for $15, you get the Certified Crispy sticker. You'll get the Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge, and then assistance with figure fixes by Zach. Please message him beforehand, and benefits of all the previous tiers. International postage will be charged at cost for the certificate. Stickers will be sent out every other month. And then we have our best tier, the What a Guy tier. This will include the Pogs Deluxe set on first pledge, doubles of all the stickers we send, and benefits of the previous tiers. International postage above $5 will be charged at cost for the Pogs. And then we would love to shout out all of our YouTube members, starting with Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Henson, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Garbear, good old Spotchtica, Gotham Cinnabites, Justin Sports Cards, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litteris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1-6 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Gist, Scarn Lord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. And if you want to become part of the YouTube members, you got the Patreon for 99 cents with all the loyalty badges, and then the Peanut Gallery for $2.99. And then we have all of our shows. We have Collecting Weekly on Tuesdays, After Dark on Wednesdays. Thursdays, we share with OFAC. You'll get them next week. We might need to check on that schedule for them, though. And then you'll see us in a couple of weeks. And then on Friday, our good old Friday night guys holding it down with the... I'm sorry. The Friday Night Faithfuls. Go check them out. And then on the Bricks and Brews, the question of the week, Ox Plays, and then we got the Mind Flare for the D&D. And then if you have any photos of your figures, please feel free to send it over to us at Small Talk CW on Instagram. We would love to see it and feature you on the next show.
Totally. We'll collect some of those and we'll build another segment on an upcoming show. So if you got anything, send it in. And, sometimes you just need that extra motivation to set up a shot. So, you'll get it on the show. We'll talk about it, do it up.
Yeah, please send those over. And my fault on Fridays, just another Friday night. Our Friday Night Faithful. So go check them out. They got a lot of good stuff heading out our way. And guys, we just love to shout you guys out the chat. We got some new people in, which look great. Love to see you guys come back again. Thank you for the support. Thank you for making us part of your evening, your day, however you choose to listen. We are still working on catching up on some of those older audios, but we're going to try to get this one out ASAP. Guys, you got any other shout outs?
Well, I've been doing a few episodes of a Star Wars podcast with some friends that's called Knights of Vader. So if you want to hear me being rude about Disney Star Wars and talking about Joris Saboth and stuff like that, you can check out the Knights of Vader podcast. That's an audio only show.
Just
And what about our resident ox diver? What do you have to say?
just shout out to everyone who's on ox diving, who's diving out there, and also shout out to if you want to check out D&D. We've got another show coming up this weekend. It's the new campaign with Baldur's Gate. You can kind of start from the beginning and not be too far behind if you want to see what's going on. And we've got some major stuff coming up this episode. There should be a lot happening. So there should be like probably a really big fight, or there's major story points coming up. So there's been a few good fights already. So yeah.
Let me ask. So is the gameplay scripted, or
No.
do you guys kind of like how? I've been curious. Like, how do y'all run it?
So the game itself is scripted. So there's like missions and there's side quests and stuff that have scripts.
Similar to like the divers. Like, there's like a story there.
Yeah, yeah. But this is like with Baldur's Gate, it's way more story driven than the Helldivers would be. It's like Helldivers are just more drop in and shoot stuff. But with Baldur's Gate, you've got more story driven points. But there's so many options with dialogue. It can go any way. So if you've played it or seen other streams, it'll probably be different. And then you kind of it's like third person. You're isometric. You're walking around the world and you run into enemies and fight guys. And the combat's fun. But it's a D&D with based combat with like rolls and everything like that. So yeah, it's fun as heck though.
Nice. Well, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you in a couple of weeks. We can't wait for you to come back. And so see you guys next time.
Later.
Bye, guys.